What if I told you that this is a miniature and that's a real wave? Yes, you heard me right. We're 3D printing the world's tallest building and simulating the biggest tsunami in recorded history. But why? To answer a question I've had since I was 10 years old.
What if the largest wave hits the largest building in the world?
To find out, this journey will take me from the beaches of Australia to the streets of Dubai.
Would you like to be in my little movie?
And even up in the Burj Khalifa itself, at the height of the world's tallest wave.
Action.
All to make a movie I dreamt up as a kid. What I didn't realize is that this would be the most rewarding and difficult thing that I've ever done. In fact, we almost failed before we had even begun.
Oh, dude. What have we done?
Sydney's coastline has been battered by some monster waves.
The dangerous swells have emergency services on high alert.
This right here
It's crazy.
is the moment I realized three things at the exact same time. Number one, what we were about to do had an astronomically high chance of failing.
I just broke the top of it.
And failing in private is one thing, but this was one of the busiest days on the beach, and I'd hate to make a fool of ourselves in public.
Oh, it's cold.
The second thing I realized is that I had picked the worst day of the year to do this.
Yeah, we won't swim, don't worry.
Some of the worst tides, making an already difficult task near impossible. And the third thing I realized is that this idea was so crazy, so insane, it just might work. Now, you might be wondering, how did we end up in this situation yet again? So let me take you back to where it all began.
Aw, it's a boy.
What's wrong with his face? Okay, not that far back. Maybe just to the start of our last video. In my last video, I had the craziest idea of my life.
Sam, here's the idea. You ready? Yeah, let's get it.
The idea went something like this. What if we made a disaster film about a 1,000-foot wave smashing into the Eiffel Tower, hundreds of people fleeing, and at the heart of it, a love story? Now, at this point, you might be asking,
How are we gonna pull that off?
and that part's even more crazy.
What if, instead of expensive visual effects, we use a scale model of the Eiffel Tower and destroy it with a real wave? For the lead roles, we could cast a couple of local actors, and the best part, for the crowds, what if we convinced total strangers, like 100 of them, to be in our movie?
Like a huge, crazy, wild idea.
But the craziest part of this idea is the fact that we actually pulled it off. And if you already saw our last video, you already know this, but there was something I didn't tell you. You see, Paris was just the beginning. What if Paris was just the practice run for something much bigger?
Okay, I'm listening.
You see, on the way back from Paris, we'll be going past Dubai. And what's in Dubai?
Oh, I think I know where you're going with this.
The biggest building in the world. And if you're gonna have the biggest building in the world, you gotta have the biggest wave. We'll do the biggest in recorded history here, 1,700 feet. And just like we did in Paris, we'll make a miniature of the Burj Khalifa, hit it with a real wave. We'll convince 100 strangers to star in our film.
I can't believe we're doing this again.
For the lead roles, what if it was from the perspective of a kid telling a crazy story to his dad? And I've got a great idea for that story.
And would we have to like hire actors for that?
Yep.
So let me get this straight. We have to go to Dubai, figure out how to make this miniature, hit it with a real wave, get 100 complete strangers to act in our film, and find some actors to play the main role. Am I missing anything?
Just one small thing. You might want to sit down for this.
I'm already sitting.
In Paris, we had 3 days. In Dubai, we'll have 48 hours.
48 hours, that's actually insane.
Sam's not wrong. This whole thing is insane. So why do it at all? This is crazy. I forgot about this. For 2.5 decades, here it is, right under these papers here. Okay, so in order to understand this kind of over-the-top reaction, let me explain something to you. All I have ever wanted to do is make movies. And this story right here was the first movie idea I ever had. I didn't expect to react like this, but I totally forgot that I wrote this story as a kid. And look, it's literally called Danger Wave, and danger is spelt wrong, because I didn't know how to spell, but I knew how to draw. And the front picture is literally a massive wave hitting a building. That is the tallest building in Australia. The Burj Khalifa did not exist at the time that I made this story, and there's a massive wave hitting it. And that's literally me. I'm just looking at this scene, this like 10-year-old kid looking back at me. We have to tell his story, this 10-year-old kid's story. So there you have it, a mission to bring the first film I ever wrote to life. A mission that's heartwarming and also
Actually insane. There's still so much we've got to figure out.
Don't worry about the details, we'll work all of that out before we go to Paris.
Okay, but it has to be done before Paris.
Okay, but it has to be done before Paris. I'm sorry, Sam, but it was not done before Paris.
Okay, so we've just finished our film shoot here in Paris, and this is a serious problem, and I'm not even trying to add stakes right now. This is real. I'm heading to Dubai in just a few hours. No actors, no script, no idea how I'm gonna pull this off.
So, currently no actors.
So while Sam's reminding me of all the things we still need to do, all I'm thinking about is 4 words that could save us in a time like this. It was time for a real brainstorming session.
A real brainstorming session.
So, all we got is 100. And with the power of these 2 masterminds, the script came together really fast, basically my story as a kid. Next was finding our actor to play the kid role.
My name is Isa.
Happy? Sad? Surprised?
Issa is available on Sunday for our film that we didn't know we could make just a few hours ago. So now we had a script and an actor to play the kid role. The bad news, we still didn't have an actor to play the dad. But we'd have to work that out later because it was time for me to head to the airport.
I will see you in Dubai.
And Samuel's flight would be coming 12 hours later than me. So I would need to figure this out in Dubai.
This is my man Tanner.
Hey, how's everybody doing?
As soon as I arrived in Dubai, all I could think about was where was I going to find an actor that looked like they could be Issa's dad and was available to film with us first thing tomorrow morning. But as I arrived at Tanner's apartments, someone stepped into the elevator that looked the part. And then it hit me. What if the dad role wasn't an actor at all?
How about you? Do you do acting or anything?
Not acting, but yeah, I would love to be an influencer.
And suddenly I found myself
The middle of an elevator pitch.
Now, if you've never done an elevator pitch before, you can follow along with
The 3 steps of an elevator pitch.
Step 1.
The ask.
I'm doing a film shoot tomorrow, and funny enough, I'm actually looking for someone to act for about 2 hours that looks just like you.
Really?
Yeah.
Step 2.
The story.
The story's about a kid teaching his dad to create, to dream big. That's not what the story's about.
Step 3.
The close.
Can I lock you in for the role? Were you available tomorrow, or?
To be honest, yeah, it looks interesting.
It turns out Ibrahim is a doctor. I'm talking radiologist.
I will confirm to you today. Yeah.
At least he was polite, but it's not likely that a doctor like this would have the time to film with us. So I'll probably have to keep looking for my main actor. But right now, that was the least of my problems, as we still had so many things we needed to do today before the sun went down. Thank God my friend Tanner let me use his cameraman named
John the man.
But little did I realize that John actually has a superpower. More on that later. For now, what was a week ago just a dream was now staring at me on the horizon. And to be honest, it was kind of terrifying. But nothing could prepare me for what it looked like in person.
This is a big moment. This Australian's come all the way out on a crazy mission. I'm about to look up. Here we go.
This thing's crazy. Oh my goodness, you don't realize how big it is. How are we gonna do this thing? But we couldn't sit around waiting to figure it out, because over the next 48 hours, we'll need to accomplish 5 insane challenges, ranging from convincing 100 strangers to star in our movie, to a life-changing film shoot, and even attempting an impossible shot in the Burj Khalifa itself. But for our first challenge, we'll need to match this shot with a miniature. So basically, we would need to match this shot in Dubai with this miniature here in Australia. Which brings us back to this moment. Believe it or not, there's a reason I screamed like that. You see, something I didn't tell you earlier is that because this Burj is 3D printed, it's fragile, which means pretty much every time it falls over,
Just broke the top of it.
we need to replace the top of it.
Each one of these is a brand new top and they break in seconds. See how intricate that is?
Oh my god.
That's our first life. And we only get 3.
Yeah, you heard that right. Only 3 chances. I know, I should have got more. 6, maybe 10. At this point, I was starting to realize that I should have thought this out.
I should have thought this out. I should have thought this out.
The other thing I didn't tell you earlier is that we couldn't just hit the Burj with any sized wave.
So the wave needs to go to about here, right guys?
But why this exact height? Well, that's because the tallest wave ever recorded was a mega tsunami in Latua Bay, Alaska in 1958, triggered by a landslide, and it reached 524 meters.
Bro, are you just reading that off Google?
Well, I'm not a scientist.
Now, the Burj Khalifa is 830 meters, and 524 meters would come up to about here. So basically,
We need the wave here, we need it to fall perfectly, and we only have 3 chances at this.
and if that wasn't hard enough, as I mentioned earlier, we picked the worst time of year for this.
I should have thought this out. I should have thought this out.
Whoa! So while we're walking to get this shot of the wave, let me tell you about .store domains, who have agreed to sponsor this video, even though I had like 60 subscribers at the time of starting this. Talk about believing in creators. .store are amazing, but what is a .store? I'm glad you asked.
There's a wave coming!
I'm gonna have to tell you right after we get this wave. As mentioned, we needed our wave to be around this height. And unfortunately, that was too small. I've broken another top. We'll only get 2 more takes of this. Let me keep telling you about .store while we try and get this next wave.
Really?
Right now, have you ever had a website domain that looked ugly? More like a Wi-Fi password?
Yeah.
Well, .store domains fixes that problem.
Yeah.
Just your name plus .store. Clean, simple, watch out, trusted.
Why not .com?
.com is generic and doesn't say anything about you. .store literally says store. It's trusted by the biggest creators because a .store is made for creators who care about their brand, starting from the link they share for their store. You see, when it's your name plus .store, there are no doubts, just more clicks, which means more sales.
Ready.
Now, as this second wave approaches, you'll notice it looks like it might be the right height, but it crashes too soon. Meaning, this is our last chance. We have no more tops after this.
That's our last one. That's it.
So lock in your .store right now before someone else gets it. Link in the description. Thanks to our friends at .store Domains for believing in creators like us. All right, that's enough messing around. Let's get our wave. Finally, here we are, again. But this time, I want to take you inside this crazy head so you can understand why I'm pulling this face. You see, this wave looks the perfect height, but I need it to crash at precisely the right time. Not too early and not too late. And with our wave shot done, we had just one last shot left to complete this challenge. Let's see what Blessing's reaction's like. Hey, bro.
So, Nate, what are we doing right now?
This suit here, this makes me disappear. And I'm going to be pushing the Burj over for the final shot of the Burj falling.
Okay, it might not look that good from this angle, but from this angle,
I can't see anything, so I don't know. How was that?
That was good.
So with challenge 1 complete, it was time to jump straight into challenge 2. Challenge 2 was to get 100 strangers in our film. And with less than 48 hours to spare, I'd calculated we'd need to get 34 before the sun goes down. It's like some crazy dream that we might be able to have 100 people here be in our film. I don't even know if that's possible, but I was about to find out. Hello, how are you? Where are you from? Nice. I've come here from Australia to make a movie. In my movie idea, I've got this massive wave coming, something funny. And after explaining my idea, it was time for the all-important question. Would you like to be the first people in my little movie? If you want. Would that be okay? Yeah, are they okay? That's all right. I'll just set like this. I'll tell you when I'm ready. And just like that, I had my first movie star ready to go. Hello. Oh, but I needed to be quick because our actors were losing interest. Can you say, wow, that's a big wave in Chinese? Action. But as soon as I hit record, I noticed something happening behind me. A security guard was talking with John. Not sure what it was about. I wrapped up pretty quick. And cut. You guys are natural. Thank you so much. Bye, guys. Just like that, we had our first fall. But what was the security guard saying to John? Well, he explained to us that in order to keep filming, we were going to have to move to a different location. And after a walk through the craziest mall I've ever seen, we arrived at that location. Whew. And we're finally at the one place that might be okay. It's very hot. We'll see if we can get anyone to be in our film here today. That'd have to be very nice. Lucky there was some very nice people right behind me. Hello, how are you doing? Surprisingly, despite the heat, they were happy to film with us. Maybe here like this? Now I had a plan for a perfect shot. You want to get a shot from behind? Got it. But little did I know things were not about to go according to plan. All right, ready? And as soon as we hit record, it was like deja vu. The security was once again talking to John. You did a beautiful job. You're a movie star. Now, I was glad to have another 3 people in my film, but I honestly thought we were allowed to film here, so what was the security guard about to tell us? Well, it looks like a lot of this vlog is now going to be on the iPhones, so lucky we both. What I was trying to say is that the security guard explained that to film in Dubai with professional film gear, you need to get a permit, and that could take anywhere up to a week. But then he said that we could use our smartphones. To give you an idea, this is all the equipment we would usually use on a film shoot like this. And it would mean that now this film shoot would go from looking like this to this. But the reality here is it's all about the story you tell, and I had a great idea on how we could tell our story using iPhones. The problem is the sun was about to set. We needed a location where we could film lots of people fast. Lucky John had an idea.
Maybe the story could be start on the beach because it's a wave.
I like it. The only thing is, if our film was now starting on the beach, we'd need to find some big epic opening shot. Some big epic opening shot. So the search was on. But honestly, sometimes finding the right opening shot could take hours. Whoa. This beach looks sick.
Just with the plastic bag, look. Plastic bag rolling.
And immediately a whole disaster film was playing out in my head. Only from outside my head, it kind of looked like this. Anyway, it was safe to say we had acquired our big epic opening shot. Alright, that's enough messing around. So I still had 26 more strangers to film, and the sun was gonna set in about 40 minutes. We needed to get to work. Surprisingly, I found the first group pretty quickly. Unfortunately, I forgot to hit record on the audio, so lucky I remember exactly what we said. Here it is. Hey guys, I can wave my hands in the air and look at my phone. This is the iPhone. I like your phone. It's a good phone. And also sometimes I run. Oh yes, this is a good run. You like this run, guys? Yeah, it's a good run. Okay, so maybe I don't remember exactly what I said, but whatever it was got this guy so excited that he literally called over their friends so I could have more people in my film. And just like that, we were ready to hit record once again.
Guys, there is a huge wave coming, run!
Cut.
It's good?
You guys are great.
You guys going to Hollywood?
Whoa, hold up a second. Nathaniel, do you mean to tell us that you're going to get low quality footage from an iPhone, over the top performances, and expect it to be a good film? Well, hear me out here. Remember earlier I said I had an idea on how to use the iPhones? Here's the idea. When you're a kid, you draw pictures, you cut newspapers out, magazines, and you put it together, just like the front cover of the story I wrote. Well, what if I used the iPhone footage, pictures I drew as a kid, and even pictures my kids draw, and put it together with some movie magic so that it feels like it's straight out of the mind of a 10-year-old, looking like this. Now, I'm not spoiling anything else. You'll have to wait till the end to see the rest of the shots, but trust me, it's gonna be fun. But if we don't get our 34 strangers soon, there won't be a film.
All right, that's 12. 22 to go.
John's gonna go talk to some Filipinos that he's seen.
Ate, gandang hapon po.
Earlier, John explained to me that Filipinos have almost a superpower, where they're like one large family, and if any of them need something, they'll go out of their way to help one another.
Sasabihin niyo lang, there's a huge wave coming.
Sounded great in theory, but was he right?
There is a huge wave coming!
And that was just the warm-up
There is a huge wave coming!
for the main event.
Action.
Ah, there is a huge wave coming!
Safe to say I was more than a little pleased with their performance. I didn't even need another take. I had everything I needed.
That's beautiful. Thank you.
Run more!
All right, let's do one. Action. Cut. You guys win the prize.
Okay, now we really did have no time to spare. Okay, maybe enough time for a quick photo.
There is a huge wave coming.
That was absolutely hilarious. And at that point I realized this film needs more funny quotes. And I think I found just the guy.
Hello. Where are you from? Egypt. Egypt, that's so beautiful. I'm shooting like a big, silly, funny video. Can I film you? Just very quick, yeah? Can you say, that wave looks 524 meters? Okay. Yeah.
Now I knew the line sounded funny in my head, but nothing could prepare me for this.
Wow, that looks at 524 meters wave. Yeah.
I honestly love the way he delivered this line so much that I wanted to add a little bit extra.
At the end, goodbye world.
Okay.
And action.
Wow, that looks like 524 meters wave. That's a goodbye to the world.
Thank you.
Welcome.
I'm not quite sure if I've ever made that sound while laughing before. It was safe to say our quotable line was both memorable and hilarious.
It's a goodbye to the world.
Okay, again, I have no idea what that laugh was, but little did I realize in just a few moments, I'd be almost crying thanks to this couple.
Hello. How are you?
And once I explained to them the crazy reason I was here in Dubai, they explained why they were here.
Aww. So you come all the way from Shanghai to here?
If there's anything this film needs, it's a little bit of romance.
I would love to have you guys in it.
Yeah, let's figure it out together.
But we didn't have to try figure it out for long, as John had an idea.
I got an idea.
Yeah, we got an idea here.
So you guys are lovers, right?
Yeah, lovers.
So like you're sweeting each other.
Yeah.
You're making promise to each other.
At this point, I was basically convinced that John was a poet.
Then suddenly you see the wave.
Okay, John, that's good. A story that's both tragic and romantic.
And you're gonna leave the girl.
Okay, John, that's not exactly what I had in mind. Thankfully, our stars had some ideas of their own.
Maybe just something very moving. Just we are just hugging and waiting for the like.
I like that. Can we do that?
As we prepared for the shot and I gave some simple directing notes,
Can you say
Like what you would say if the wave was coming.
I noticed they reacted a little bit more emotional than I expected, and they went on to explain why.
I will go back to Shanghai tomorrow.
Oh, tomorrow.
And as soon as I hit record, this was no longer acting, as they embraced in light of the last sunset they would see together in probably a long time.
希望下辈子还能遇见。
可以说谢谢，但 don't say sorry.
Oh.
I will come to see you.
每个人用中文就行。
我还要尽快来看你。
好。
Honestly, I felt honored that they would share this vulnerable moment with us.
Yeah, is that okay?
This video is going to be very touching for a lot of people.
Thank you, sir.
Honestly, I wish I had a bit more time to take this moment in. But right now, we had a problem. We still needed to get another 15 strangers, and the sun was setting, so we didn't have much time. And to make matters worse, people were starting to say no.
All right, thank you.
But in my hour of need, John activated his superpower.
There's a routine now. Find like 100 more Filipinos here.
Just find Filipinos here. And it did not take him long.
John the man is at it again.
He walked up to the biggest group he could find.
He's doing the directing now.
And he must have been doing something right, because the group just kept getting bigger, and everyone clearly loved the idea.
Man, this is crazy.
And so I hit record, and just like last time,
Action!
they went above and beyond, giving us take
Action!
after take.
Action! We only need 23 more takes.
23?
No.
Oh my God.
We're finished.
And with the help of John's superpower, we were at 29 already, just 5 short of today's goal. Who'd have thought the solution was to just find Filipinos here? And literally, as the sun was setting, we managed to get these last few shots. The sun set and the grand total was 33. Just 1 short of our goal.
Congratulations.
And as excited as I was, honestly, it would have been nice to have reached today's goal. But right now, there's a far bigger problem. We're filming first thing tomorrow, and I still don't have my main actor. Unless...
I'm about to find out if Abram, the guy that I met in the lift, will play the character for the story. We're about to find out.
Hi, Nathaniel. It was, to be honest, it was a good opportunity to meet with you this morning by chance, but I was excited, to start. But the thing is that I had some commitments for tomorrow.
At this point, I assumed I'd never see Ibrahim again.
Who is it?
I assumed I'd be giving my brother Sam the bad news.
Come in.
That we still don't have an actor to play our main character. But I assumed wrong. Sometimes you just have to finish the voice memo before making assumptions.
I have managed to postpone whatever I can, so yeah, let's go.
What? Not only did Ibrahim say yes, but he also invited us for dinner at his house, where we were able to hear his side of the story.
He said, I think you're the one matching for
And honestly, I was wondering, how does a busy, successful radiologist cancel his commitments to film with a YouTuber who at the time of filming this video had 60 subscribers? Well, it turns out this radiologist has a dream.
I would love to be an influencer.
And a little nudge from his wife.
He prepared everything for his channel, but until
For his
now...
dream of a YouTube channel.
Yeah, but until now he never started. But after you met him in the elevator, I told him, this is a sign. If you didn't take this sign, you will miss a lot of things. He said, do you think that? I said, yes.
Yeah.
It's like a sign or message from God.
And as if one sign wasn't enough, it was at that point that I realized, since Ibrahim was not an actor, but a stranger that I met in an elevator, suddenly we reach 34 strangers, our goal for today, meaning we unlock the challenge for tomorrow, our film shoot. It's film shoot day.
Nathaniel met some people that live in my apartment building that I've never even met, and I've lived here for 5 years. And Nathaniel's already made friends with them. He's gonna go make a video with them now.
From meeting in the lift to being our main actor.
How strange or random is that?
Strange or random's a great way of putting it. Not only was Ibrahim starring in our film, but he was letting us use his house as our set.
First time you guys have met each other.
Hello. When our actor Issa arrived, we realized he was joined by his brother. Mohammed, good to meet you.
Tell us a little bit about yourself.
They both started off kind of shy, but within just a few minutes,
Our dad used to come like a monster, destroy the building, and we were like,
Yeah, that's
Like, the best when it destroys. I like when it destroys the building.
It was at that point that Samuel and I both had a realization.
We didn't realize you were both coming. And I'm so glad you did, because you remind us of us. I'll introduce you to the boys. This is who's going to be your father in the story. Mohammed and Isa.
Since everyone was still a bit nervous, I had an idea for how to warm them up.
Wow, that looks like 524 meters wave.
Wow, that looks like 524-meter wave.
You will put like voice over what he's saying.
Definitely.
That's cool.
Thanks, Ibrahim. I think it's pretty cool too. Here's how it works. Step 1, we show the boys the lines. Step 2, the boys say the lines.
Ah, there's a huge wave coming.
Step 3, we put it all together.
Ah, there's a huge wave coming.
Okay, I'm not showing you any more of the film till the end, but it's gonna be hilarious. Now, the next thing we did was even more crazy.
I want you boys to...
But I'm not gonna show you that either. At least to our next challenge, and it'll make more sense then.
The 3 main things that happen in your character.
So now that everyone was thoroughly warmed up,
one of you asked about the building.
it was time to hit record.
And action.
And once we hit record, it became clear that at the heart of this story was not tsunamis and destruction, but rather 2 boys
Dad, can you help us with the story?
inviting their father to create, to dream. But never would I imagine that this film shoot would be a life-changing moment for Ibrahim.
I'd love to be an influencer.
This is a sign. If you didn't take this sign, you will miss a lot of things.
You see, in an ironic way, this film shoot was an invitation for Ibrahim to finally chase his dreams. And recently, he actually sent me this message.
Hey Nathaniel, how was everything? I just wanted to let you know that shooting that day was really inspirational to me. It gave me like a big boost, you know? And here we are. I finally launched my YouTube channel. Thank you for everything. Cheers.
That's a wrap, guys.
You boys have now won an official Oscar.
Now, of course, I wish I had an extra Oscar for Ibrahim as well, but there's something even more valuable you can do. Guys, subscribe to his channel. Let's support him on this exciting journey he's on. And with challenge number 3 complete, it was time for challenge number 4.
We got like half an hour.
Go. Challenge 4 was to get another 33 strangers before the sun goes down, but there's a twist.
So I think it all begins. We'll just head down to the beach.
What is that twist, I hear you ask?
I might start watching the videos of the boys as well and see which ones we'll get them to do first.
Well, I can finally show you this. I want you boys to just come up with 5 or 6 funny ideas, and whatever you say, we will film on the beach.
The boys are figuring out right now what we need to go out and film today.
This is so good.
And action.
There are people sleeping, and the wave hits them.
So could I get a 20-second shot of you guys sleeping?
It's going, a wave, that's all. Just really quick, yeah? One person wakes up. Now everyone go, ah! And now run.
No way!
Cut, thank you.
Okay, 1 down, 5 to go. But we've got to be quick.
We're losing the sun. You can see behind me, it's probably got 10 minutes left.
There's people telling others that the wave is coming.
That's all I need, the wave is coming.
Action.
The wave is coming! The wave is coming!
Cut. Thank you very much.
And there is a group of people running like, ah!
Ah! And run off. Action. Beautiful. Action. Nice.
Go.
That's good.
And there's people running in slow-mo.
I've got to get these guys running in slow-mo. Can I get you guys running like a slow motion shot for my movie?
So what do you think? And go. And cut. Thank you.
And then there are some people vlogging
they see the wave
Now you both start to see the wave.
and the wave hits them.
Thank you so much.
Now,
Thank you, mate.
the day was almost over, and after a quick, terrifying reaction shot,
Hey, that was good.
a riveting sleeping shot,
Cut.
and some volleyballers running for their lives, it was time for our most important shot.
And then there are people listening to music. Boom, boom. And then the wave hits them.
Turns out, finding people listening to music in Dubai isn't hard.
That's amazing.
But will they pretend to run from an imaginary wave? Okay, now pretend there's a wave coming, like a wave coming from this direction.
3, 2, 1, go!
Okay, I don't know how that worked, but we got our shots. And remember, our goal was to get 33 today? We didn't get 33.
We did 47 today.
47?
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's challenge 4 complete. Now you may have noticed we still have one last shot from the boys, and that's because we're saving it for our last challenge tomorrow. Finally, the moment I'd been waiting for.
We're gonna try go up in the Burj Khalifa and see if we can get our last shots from up in the Burj Khalifa.
Filming 20 strangers on the world's tallest building at the height of the world's tallest wave. What could possibly go wrong?
Talk to the guards and security. You can just take pictures, but you cannot vlog.
Cannot vlog or film, okay?
Yeah.
Look, we want to do the right thing. And I'm willing to say if we don't get the shots, we don't get the shots. It's not worth it to do something we're not supposed to. So if we don't get to 100, I guess 85 or whatever it is still wonderful.
But John wouldn't even let me finish my pep talk.
We need to finish what we started.
What is he doing? What is this guy doing?
Could it be that for one last time, the solution was to just find Philip, he knows you.
Just tell us what happened in a nutshell.
Like a Filipino lady there on the counter, and I'm trying to hook us up like a real permit.
If we can, it'll be damn sure. The phone just rang.
She called like 3 executive guys.
3.
Yeah. She even called the boss.
For the video, you will use the mobile.
The mobile, I can
And
do
you
that.
can use
The lapel, yep, the microphone, and I'm allowed to film everything with my phone. Hey, can I film now? It's okay, just, okay.
Voila. We got a permit.
Just find Philip, he knows you.
Thanks to John, we've got permission to film. John, you're my hero, man.
That's a miniature. As we made our way, I began to realize this is a once-in-a-lifetime experience. Not to be missed.
Are we actually? We actually are. Are we gonna miss it? Thank you, sir, sorry.
And honestly, I was just feeling grateful. And someone else who was feeling grateful was John. He hadn't been up here for a decade.
This is our first time seeing how high it is, so... My goodness. So picture you're looking at the beach out there and you see a wave pretty much at this height rolling in.
Ooh. But there was no time to mess around. We had a serious film to make. We still needed 20 more strangers. Plus, I still had my dream shot to capture.
Well, this is actually the best spot to get our big, epic closing shot.
But what even was our big, epic closing shot? Or should I say,
our big, epic closing shot?
Well, it's an idea that I had since the beginning of this project, and really it's quite simple. There's a large group of people looking out the window. When they see the wave roll in, they begin to scream and
everyone's running.
That's what I was picturing.
Now the idea sounds simple enough, but we had a challenge. This space seemed too classy to just approach people and ask if they would be in our film. So I had an idea. If John and I started vlogging, maybe people would be interested and come talk to us. So it was time to
vlog some random things here and there.
Vlog some random things here and there.
Not sure what kind of flowers these are, but they look pretty cool.
Yeah. But neither John or I have any idea how to vlog.
Where we've been sitting,
amazing, comfortable space.
Structure.
Yeah. And up there's that's the ceiling. So it's like got a cool pattern and stuff like that. Yeah. And whether it was our epic vlogging skills or just my Australian accent, the plan worked.
I'm wondering, are you all coming from Australia?
Us two brothers, and this is our friend John.
Hi.
And just as I had hoped, the conversation led to why we were here. I'm doing this funny video while I'm here. And once we shared the idea, they were more than happy to be in our film.
Tell me when to go ahead.
Action.
That's great. We'll take a selfie, no?
Of course. And just like that, people were curious and would start talking to us, and then were more than happy to be in our film.
Action.
And although we had to be quiet up here, I think I may have found some of the most expressive people. Time had flown by, and before we knew it, we only had 10 minutes left, which unfortunately meant two things. One, it didn't look likely we would get 100 strangers in time. And two, for my dream shot, we needed a large group of people, and there were only small groups of people up here, so it didn't look like we were gonna get that either. But on the bright side, I could use our last 10 minutes to find the perfect person to do our last quote from the boys.
It's a big wave, it's a large wave.
So it's a big wave, it's a large wave, that's our last line. And after a couple of minutes of searching, I think I may have found our star. And what was your name?
Tyo, T-Y-O, Tyo.
He's
T-Y-O, Tyo. He's T-Y-O, Tyo.
Tyre,
Yes.
Nathaniel.
Nice to meet you.
But would he be willing to act in my film? Can I ask you a question?
By all means.
Can you have the last starring role in my little film?
Oh wow, I'll be honored to, but that's huge.
Yeah. So Tyre was in, but could he give us the expressive performance we needed?
It's a big wave, it's a large wave.
Oh.
And action.
It's a big wave, it's a large wave.
He's T-A-Y-O Tyre. He's T-A-Y-O Tyre.
And since Tyre was our last line, Samuel wanted to give him
Biggest trophy on the whole planet. This is massive.
Thank you, Tyre.
Thank you.
You have a blessed one. Now at this point, we had to get on a plane, and so honestly, we weren't going to get 100 strangers, and we weren't going to get my dream shot. There just weren't any large groups up here, and sometimes things turn out different to how you dreamed. And maybe that's okay.
Oh my god. That's my brother.
It seemed that word was spreading fast about Tyre being a movie star.
Is it a movie?
You want to see? And then suddenly they asked, yeah, as many as possible. Could it be possible that with minutes to spare, we might be getting my dream shot? Yeah, I'm getting chills. The closing shot.
It's crazy stuff. Crazy stuff. This would be the big epic closing.
Now, obviously, we're excited about getting my dream shot, but to get to our goal of 100, we need at least 10 more people. And I mean, honestly, what are the chances that Tyre would be with a group that big?
Oh my
Gosh. Yeah. You got the whole pie.
And suddenly, next to Tyre, stood 11 people. You can't make this up. And after some final notes from the director, the wave's coming, and you all just get scared and run, okay? Yeah, it was time to hit record for the last time. And action. Is a wrap. And just like that, we got our 100 strangers. It felt like this wasn't possible. Our big epic closing shot. And you guys helped us finish our film. And we completed all 5 challenges. I feel like a bit choked up. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you. Now all that's left to do is show you our movie. We have ourselves a movie. Honestly, it's hard for me to express what I feel in this moment. As I look around, I can hardly believe that a dream I had 2.5 decades ago has come true. And it wouldn't be possible without the kindness of over 100 strangers. And of course, my family.
Got anything to say, bro?
And friends.
Let's go home, man. Let's go home.
Let's go home.
Let's go home.
I hope you enjoy watching this film as much as we enjoyed making it.
What's the largest building in the world? The Burj Khalifa.
What's the largest wave in the world? 524 meters.
Why don't we create a story of a large wave hitting the Burj Khalifa? Dad, can you help us with a story of the largest wave hitting the Burj Khalifa?
I don't think that's possible.
But what if it happens?
Yes.
You tell me, what do you think?
I think that it will start like from a helicopter. He starts telling everyone there is a large wave coming very fast and very powerful.
And then the wave hits them.
And then somebody says, wow, that looks like 524-meter wave. And then the wave hits them.
And then there are some people vlogging. They see the wave.
There's a huge wave coming. And the wave hits them. And then somebody says, guys, there's a huge wave run.
And the wave hits them. And then there are people sleeping.
And the wave hits them.
And then there are people listening to music.
Then the wave hits them. People are shouting, the wave is coming.
And the wave hits.
And there's people running in slow-mo.
And the wave hits them.
And then there is two people in love hugging each other.
Did they survive?
No, the wave hits them. And people are shouting,
There are people saying, run, run.
And what about the Burj Khalifa?
It's a big wave. It's a large wave.
The wave is, yeah, the wave still keeps it.
On top of Burj Khalifa?
Yes. And the Burj Khalifa falls.
No. No. No, guys, I think that went a little too far.
Okay.
Okay.
You know what? I have an idea. What if someone has a time machine that could reverse this event? And now, how could we protect the city?
We can create a wall like the wall of China and tall as
Burj Khalifa and strong.
And strong,
but large.
Like we can build rivers,